Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single from only £1.20, a return from only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talk in Town. Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to the Full-Time Fans React show. This is the part of the show where we hand it over to you. The link will be coming into the chat. You have the live box there to have your say. It's a bit hard to not really feel like tonight is a defeat. It truly is. And it's also going to be very difficult to not have the emotion right on the floor, because that was a game that Ipswich Town should have won. That was a game, we should change the background. That was a game that Ipswich Town needed to win and didn't. Drew 0-0. I will get up the league table in just a moment. Let me just put a quick background on there. That'll do. Boom. Right. League table. Here we go. This is how it now reads. Live league table. Sitting in ninth still. 52 points. 4 points away from Sunderland, who go back inside the top 6. So 4 points. It's still only 4 points. But it could have been so much better. As is the story. I'll bring back Kurt. I'll bring back Steve. I'll read some comments and I'll grab the thoughts of the guys and I'll put the link into the chat. Mark Doyle, nothing gained, nothing ventured. We have two beating teams like Cheltenham, Leighton Durham. This game will cost us big time. Safety guys, got to win these. Rue the first half misses, lose momentum in the second half, had better nights. At least we got a point. McKenna has done a phenomenal job, says Eddie Spaghetti, but just too much to do from where we were when he came in. Stephen Parry, always the optimist. Shame, but it happens. But should it happen, Kurt? At home to Cheltenham, 0-0.
No, it shouldn't. And I think the way we played in that second half was close to embarrassing, to be honest. I think with how we dominated in the first half, I think, although I'm not expecting you to keep up 100% levels throughout the game, I think the way we came out in that second half was almost as though we were 2-0 up already and we were going through the motions and sitting back. I'm not gonna lie, I was quite embarrassed by that second half performance there, because the players that we did say we struggled to say played badly, and they've then gone on to show me just how bad they can play in that second half. I thought Carroll was absolutely poor. I thought Selena didn't do half as much as what I was expecting him to, and I do think that was just a really poor second half there. We just sat back and let a team like Cheltenham basically walk all over us. So I'm a bit embarrassed by that second half, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I'm quite angry at the second half and a bit embarrassed about that.
Okay, embarrassed by the second half. Steve, how did you see it?
Disappointing. That's the sort of game that we need to really be winning. You know, we were so close. 1 point off the playoffs, it would have been. Yeah, especially after such a good first half. You know, it's amazing that a team can be so dominant and then leave with hardly anything to show. I mean, obviously a point's better than nothing, but I was fully expecting 3 points. Fully expecting that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Selena, Kurt, you mentioned Selena. How did you see him play tonight? Because surely you're paying the big bucks to burst St. Selena to win you games such as tonight.
Listen, first half he was creating a lot of chances, but no one can tell me there that he played the exact same way in that second half there and was just as good. His performance level did drop. His first half performance compared to his second half there was chalk and cheese. And in that second half there, I do think we were going through the motions. I thought a lot of our attacks there were very much hit and hope up to them out front. I thought we just tried. It seemed as though we were throwing everything at it without actually throwing everything at it. I just think I just thought our performance was absolutely dire. And I think Selena, yeah, his first half performance was good. It was very good. But that second half, when I'm expecting him to turn it on, he just didn't do it. He didn't do it, and unfortunately, that is disappointing for me. It is disappointing.
Boos at the end of the game, Steve. Facebook user very disappointed to hear some fans booing at the final whistle. especially after taking such a massive corner recently, because we can still make the playoffs. Obviously, we don't know what they were booing. They may have been booing the referee, the away team, who, let's be honest, were shithousing towards the end of the game, but that is football. Or it could have been the performance, but boos nonetheless. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's not nice to hear, is it? I mean, okay, it's not an ideal result. You know, you'd have thought we would have how they played. Really, you could have got 3 points out of that, but there's no need for booing. You know, McKenna's done a good job. He's turned it around quite nicely. That's another clean sheet. It's another game without a defeat. You know, so the recent record is looking pretty good. So, you know, there's no booing. If we'd have lost, okay, but come on.
No, but well, this is it. It did surprise me. Kurt, before I bring our first fan in, what did you make of the booing?
I mean, I'm not sure what they are booing. I mean, I think they could be booing the referee and Cheltenham's tactics at the end there. I'd like to think they weren't booing our overall performance. I think that would be silly, bearing in mind the run that we're currently on. I mean, what is it, undefeated in 3 or 4, something like that? Don't know. It's not disappointing from that aspect. I mean, we are largely where we were at the start of this game. So I suppose looking from that aspect, it's not a terrible result. But again, they were there for the taking, and I'm not going to have I'm not going to have this old Cheltenham where we're better than what we think they were. We were all over them, and I do think in that second half, our performance it went down a gear or two. I do think it went down because I think had we kept up what we were doing in the first half, I think they were there for the taking. But no, it's a point. We are where we were at the start of the 90 minutes, so we'll move on to Morecambe and hopefully we'll make up for this.
Max, with all due respect, put an opinion forward that actually is constructive. Tell us why you're happy tonight. That's what I want to know. Why are you happy tonight? Doom and gloom, happy being miserable? Absolutely not. I think we're all willing that ball into the back of the net. But tell us, what is there tonight in your world as a Town fan to be happy about? Ronnie, there's 2 points down the drain. Very good first half performance. Let them back in second half and went off the boil. Jono UK, look at Cheltenham's recent results. They drew 5-5 with Wickham, beat Fleetwood 2-0, beat Sunderland 2-1, and drew with AFC Wimbledon. There have been a bit of a draw merchant recently. Louis, welcome in. How did you see it tonight?
Yeah, second half let us down, didn't it? I mean, we just took our foot off the gas, didn't we? So we did deserve to win for me tonight. We were the better team, and it's just the way Cheltenham played last 20 minutes. It's just like time and everything. And I mean, to be fair, that's probably what they were booing. They were booing about how Cheltenham played, but we just looked like a different team, didn't we? The second half, like I think whoever said it was, we just looked like we're 2-0 up, literally. Looked like we're in control, but yeah, it's football. I guess it's football at the end of the day. It does happen, but
it is football. But the issue is obviously we knew we were facing an uphill battle for the playoffs. But we've just made it a little bit more difficult now, haven't we? Because this was, I imagine, in many people's run-ins, a banker. It's now gone, and that means you've now got to turn a result such as maybe an Oxford point away, or a Rotherham or a Wigan into possibly 3 points, Louis. It's really going to be trickier now, isn't it?
It is a shame because you've got to be beating teams like Cheltenham at home. You can't afford to draw. We couldn't have. We've got 2 hard away games coming up now. What, against Morecambe and Fleetwood? And if we'd have won tonight, I'd probably be thinking, all right, 4 points from them 2 away games probably would have been all right. But now we probably need to win both those games now if we've got any chance. The only real good side is we're still 4 points off. That's the only sort of positive side you can take. But yeah, it's 2 points dropped, really.
Yeah, 4 points off the players. Could have been so much more sweeter. It's really, obviously, the post-game shows are always full of charged emotion, Kurt, but it's really quite difficult tonight to really be positive because it could have been so. It's almost like the lightning seeds and Biddle and Skinner. It could have been so sweet right now.
It's like Lou just said there. I do think no one can tell me that we kept our foot on the pedal in that second half. We definitely took our foot off the pedal there, and I think we were almost just expecting the goal to come, whether that be us in fourth gear, third gear. I think we were just expecting the goal to happen, and unfortunately, what then happened was Cheltenham started to have more chances than they did in the first half, and they did create a few nervy moments of themselves, which in the first half never looked like they were even in the game. So we allowed them to play their way back into the game. And unfortunately, when you see I wouldn't say lack of effort, but when you see players taking the foot off the pedal in such circumstances like this, where we are needing the points to fight our way back into the playoffs. Yeah, it's annoying. It is annoying for fans, especially when we were all there at the halftime show and we were saying how.
Can I just stop you just a moment, because the league table on my screen has just updated. It is now 3 points between us and the playoffs. Sunderland are losing 1-0. Don't know if that makes it better or worse right now, because it makes it even more.
Yeah.
If we'd have won that,
well, it would have been 1 point.
It would have been a point, would have been back in it. Sunderland obviously on 34, so we can definitely look at those as a team that we should be targeting here. 55, 52. Curtis, sorry, I'll come back to you. As interrupted yourself. 3 points.
That is why tonight is so annoying. That is why, because at half time we were there saying how it was tough to pick a player out who had played badly, whereas in that second half it was relatively quite annoying, because the same players that we were saying didn't play bad seemed to have a bit of a shocker in that second half compared to the high standards that they set themselves. So I don't know. It is 3 points now, and I suppose looking at it, it is a point gained. But equally, like you say there, it was a team there it really was there for the taking. So if we got that goal, we could have made a stance. We could have took a stand, like on FM, where you finally get into the playoff marks and it starts asking you if that's a platform for the rest of the season. We could have done that. But unfortunately, I just think in the second half we definitely took our foot off the pedal there.
Important to remember, we didn't lose. Obviously, we are still very much in the playoff hunt, Steve. Mm-hmm. The issue I've got a little bit here is those games played, because yes, if you win Saturday, tonight will quickly be forgotten. The issue is we've played 34, whereas two teams above us, particularly Wednesday, have got 2 games in hand on us. That is a worry.
That is. And then you look below, Portsmouth have got 3 games in hand.
Yep.
We've got Wednesday,
you would have
Wickham.
thought they're out of it. You would have thought anyone sort of south of Bolton are out of it.
By now, you'd have thought, really, but it is quite close. But yeah, Plymouth, Wednesday, Wickham, they've all got at least 1 game in hand, so it's going to be very, very tricky. Even if we can get a good run together, it's not guaranteed, is it?
Because even if they draw those games, Louis, it's going to still add a little bit of more distance between them and us, isn't it?
Yes. Well, the thing is, they have to win those games, but it is nice. It's probably better just not having the games in hand to have the points on the board, but also it's still obviously that chance that it's not as close as it could be, obviously, with them having the games in hand. But it's like, we just need to get a massive run now going, because we can't afford to just keep dropping points now. We've got to win the next few games.
I think,
and it's basically meant but we've got to beat teams now, probably like Oxford and Plymouth, and maybe later on we probably need to beat teams like Rotherham now. We need to get results against them, literally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, safety guy here, Louis, basically has to go down as a missed opportunity. I think that's fundamentally what the frustration is tonight, isn't it? It's a clear missed opportunity, wouldn't you say, Louis?
Oh yeah, it is for sure. I mean, yeah, they were on decent form, to be fair to them, but
they drew.
Look at the teams they played. They didn't play anyone hard, pretty much, because Sunderland aren't on good form, and neither are Wickham. Because the only team they've lost to is the team that's just got away from all the other teams, and it's Rotherham. That's literally it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Sunderland obviously at the moment isn't a great win, as Andy in the chat said. Curtis, they've been a bit on a free fall. Lewis says, win the last thing. What's he say? Let's read it properly. Need to win 8 of the last 12. Our goal difference is decent. I'm just writing down some of the 8 of the last 12 from Morecambe, Fleetwood, Lincoln, Portsmouth, Oxford, Plymouth. I mean, it's still very much possible. Let's bring in Stephen, who says, I think we're all over analysing it. Steve, welcome in.
We know why we love football. We know why everybody watches football. Do you think Man City weren't sat there the other day when they lost 3-2 going, oh shit, the title's gone? No, they weren't, because they know there's another game coming up. At the end of the day, we should have won. I don't think there's anyone, even a Cheltenham fan, who wouldn't say we shouldn't have won. But that's the beauty of football. Sometimes things happen you don't expect. We can all say, well, we didn't do this, we didn't do that, we should have done this, we should have done that. It's immaterial after the fact. Let's be fair. This team drew with Wigan. We couldn't even do that. So they're not. They've got something about them. They're not stupid.
With respect, Steve, Man City are currently sitting top of the Premier League.
Yeah, but did they expect?
They're in the position where if they slip, it's still in their hands.
Well, that's
we're chasing teams that have got games in hand, and we're chasing points.
But
with respect,
we've always been chasing. The top and bottom of it is this was always like a 5% chance, a shot in the dark. It was always a shot in the dark. We're sat here thinking, oh well, we could have gone 1 point. Yeah, we could, but we could have thrown it away 2 or 3 games ago. The top and bottom of it is McKenna's got us this far. He's got us within 3 points.
Absolutely, yeah.
We could have blown this 2 months ago, but he's got us to here. I think we should turn around and say, look, we're still 5 unbeaten. Yeah. How long is it since we can sit here and say Ipswich Town is 5 unbeaten?
Yep. Over 8 hours like seeing the goal now.
Exactly. There is more positives than negatives. If you just want to look at the negatives, then fine. Just look at the negatives. But you've got to look at the positives as well. It was always a shot in the dark. It was always a very slim chance we'd get in the playoffs because of the teams who've got games in hand on us. Because of this, that, and the other. If you want me to be perfectly honest, I think Wednesday was always going to get in the playoffs before us because they've got games in hand, they've got players coming back from fitness, and they just already had a few points ahead of us. That's not being me being negative. It's just a fact. We have to overturn that. If we can't, I think the biggest point was us losing to Wednesday. That's what did us, because that gave them the platform. We didn't have the platform after that. If we'd have beaten Wednesday, we'd have had the platform. We didn't, and we didn't. We lost that game, and because of that, I think they got the platform. And you've got to look at Bolton. I think Bolton could overtake us quite easily, but you've got to think about it. It's this damage, and it's like Crunchy was saying, this damage was already done. All we're trying to do now is firefight. We're trying to do the best we can from a shit situation. And we were left, Kieran McKenna was left a bad situation. He's doing the best he can, and I said yesterday on Twitter, you look at his 10 games, that's roughly quarter of a season. That's 22 points. Over a season, that's 90 points. Everyone's got top 2. Everyone. Yeah. Every time.
Absolutely.
So if you look at it in that perspective, 0-0's not a bad show because you're still in 90-point territory over the course of a season. If you play like this over the course of a season, you're still in 90-point territory. So these games happen. No team can go into a game and say we're going to win. Yeah, you can say after the first half, we should have won. Everybody knows we should have won. But sometimes you don't get what you deserve.
I think we're disappointed, though, Steve. I'm
not saying I'm not disappointed. I'm gutted because we should have won.
And I think that's where my feelings come from. I think it's more sort of, as you mentioned there, we look at Bolton, who, apart from that slip up against Burton that they had, they are very in form at the moment. And with them breathing down on next, what are they on 51 points now, is it, or something like that? Yeah. They're very much breathing down on it. So I think that's where I come from. I come from a side of pessimism as a fan of 24 years old who's never seen success. So then when these games come along where we have dominated, and as you say, it is the beauty of football, these things can happen. But when you see a game where you've been all over them, and they were there for the taking, and when you see such different performances, whether you agree with that or not, I do think that the performances that we did in the first half there compared to our second half performance was poor. And when that happens, I think that's where I'm coming. I'm coming from a very pessimistic side where I am very disappointed with what I've seen tonight because they are there for the taking. And I just think it's typical of Ipswich. We're making the job tougher for ourselves than what it needs to be.
If you want my honest opinion, I think like when they brought, I thought Bon offered something when he came on. I thought Pigott offered nothing. I'm sorry, I really I do not see where he fits in this team at all.
Pigott had a touch there in that.
He hurt us more than helped us, actually.
Pigott went for the ball, and that ball wasn't his. That was Selina's to bury, and he went for it, and Selina pulled out. If he hadn't have gone for that ball, Selina would have buried that.
Potentially, yeah, but then Selina's got to be more. I can't agree with that.
It was Johnny on the spot. It was Bon it was Pigott who cut in front of him and took the ball off him and did nothing with it.
Do you think, before I come to you, Steve, just back to you, Stephen Parry, do you think that's because of lack of game time? Do you think he saw the opportunity, he saw the chance to be the hero, he saw the chance to finally get himself and his town career off the mark, and that's why, instead of being the, because you're right, Selina was in the better position there. You just let Selina strike that, you 1-0, you're going home happy.
I argue the fact that people turn around and say he needs game time because when he gets a chance, he doesn't do anything with it. So as a manager, you think to yourself, well, what did he offer me last time out? Why does he deserve another shot? And if you do that over everybody, if he turns around as a manager and says, right, I'll give him 5 games, and he does nothing in 5 games and we don't win them 5 games, the manager's under pressure then for picking a player who's not doing nothing. Fans are going, why are you picking him? He's not doing nothing. But fans are sat here going, well, if you give him 5 games, he might do something, but he also might not. You know, every time I've seen him play, he's done next to nothing. I don't think he suits this club. Yeah, I think he suited he was perfect for a Wimbledon. Yeah. And a lot of players suit a team and a way a team sets up and a way a team plays. Yeah. Our little passing, triangle passing style doesn't suit him. He suits long balls in the box like they were getting at Wimbledon. A lot of his goals were long balls into the box that he just touched in. It's a little bit like Charlie White. He wouldn't have suited either. It doesn't suit this style. You need, and I still say this, and I say this now. Yeah. I think he's going to have a clear out at the top of the field. I think McKenna knows the type of player he wants. I think he knows the type of striker he wants. And the reason why they're getting rotated so much is because none of these really suit him. And he wants to get some questions. And I honestly see that happening. And I can see them all going. But the top and bottom of it is, I think we just, at the end of the day, let's just look at it. We're all disappointed we didn't win. We know we should have won. That's a given. Yeah. But it was always a reach. We've still got a chance. Who knows what's going to happen next week? We could win Morecambe, we could win Fleetwood, and we could be in the playoffs. Nobody knows. That's the beauty of football. Did anybody expect Cambridge to beat Plymouth? Not really. And Plymouth have got that was one of their easier games in the running, and they lost. So nobody, did anybody expect Burton to roll Sunderland? No. The top and bottom of it is that's the beauty of football. All it'll take is for them to have a couple more bad games, us to have a couple of good games, and say an Oxford to have a couple of bad games, and we're back in the game. So it's not disaster. We're five games unbeaten, and I think there's still a lot to play for.
Okay, Stephen, Louis, appreciate you both. Going to bring 2 new people in, have their say. Thank you so much, Stephen. Great points as always, Louis. Thank you so much, Stephen. Thompson. Before I bring in Ipswich Mark and underwhelmed.
Right. We got Max Wardley talking listen. If Stephen's your mouthpiece, then we can all let Stephen come on, but you can come on and give your own opinion. I was just about to counter it. So Stephen makes some great points there, Steve. Is the issue though the fact that we know it's an uphill battle? We know it was a long shot. We know that. Every fan's got it. Optimism and hope, it absolutely kills you. And we've all sat there and we've all looked at the fixture list and we've all just pinpointed where we need to get the points to get us over that line. Yeah. If anybody can say tonight they did not have Cheltenham as a home banker, I will call them a liar. Because I think every man, woman and child would have had Cheltenham at home as a big green W, which is why the fan base, some of which are like the feeling the way they're feeling, because they know an uphill battle just went up an incline, and you've now got to go and face a Wigan or a Rotherham or maybe even both and get 2 wins, and that's a big ask.
We're paying for that start, aren't we? Yeah, the start of the season. But I think it is that hope because McKenna has done so well, and we're now so close to the playoffs, and it feels like as soon as they're within touching distance. I mean, as it turns out tonight, we could be better off than we were at the start if Sunderland do lose, which I didn't see coming. But it is that optimism because you do get that sort of, we're this close, if we win this, we'll be so close. And then there's that stumbling block again. And it just feels like it happens so much with Ipswich Town. There's that, the first 2 seasons in League One, we're top of the league, we're doing so well. And then there's that stumbling block and it goes downhill from there. And it just feels... It's frustrating because the guys have done so well getting themselves back up to where they are in the league now. Absolutely. Especially after that terrible start. And they're so close. It is frustrating because a game at home to Cheltenham, again, no disrespect to Cheltenham, but that is a game that you would put down as a 3-pointer, a bit of a banker. And then to have to face someone like a Rotherham who are just almost unbeatable, so it seems, is tricky. So...
All right. Let's bring in Ipswich Mark. Ipswich Mark, What
Hi,
are you
guys.
saying from the
Sorry.
Irish seat? How are you? What are you saying?
Long time, no see.
How are you? Talk to us.
Good
Give us
son.
your view.
Of tonight's game, when I think we all expected to beat Cheltenham. It was the first time in a while I looked like the team, and they didn't look like they were scoring. There wasn't too many shots on target. They should have thrown everything but the kitchen sink. They didn't look like a team who wanted to get to the playoffs. For the first time now in a few weeks, they just looked all over the place, and they just didn't have that little bit of extra to, they didn't have a shot on target, really. They didn't work their goalkeeper hard enough for my liking. And at the end of the day, it's about goals. We didn't score them. I don't care how many people are on the pitch. I don't care about clean sheets, because draws keep you in this division. And that's the frustrating thing. Now, I know under McKenna, we've been fantastic and we've improved immensely and we've made great progress. So, as I said, when he took over, we're probably going to run out of games. But we dropped points tonight because we didn't try hard enough, I didn't think. I think individually, they should have taken one on the chin. Each of them, somebody just tried a little bit of magic. There was I thought there was a bit of sort of fear there. Maybe fear isn't the right word. At times, they look a bit clueless. Again, the first half, it was everything bar a goal. Second half, Cheltenham came to not park the bus either, just make it really frustrating, and we couldn't find a way through. It was just frustrating, and it was drop points, and we shouldn't even be paying teams like bloody Cheltenham,
But we are, and all due respect, that was a good away performance.
100%, they deserved their draw tonight because
Absolutely.
we couldn't get through to them. We couldn't.
Where's Burns though, Mark? From what, 4 or 5 yards out, blazes over the bar. That's the opportunity to take the 3 points.
He wasn't in the game
fine
tonight.
margin.
It was the first time Burns hasn't played in a while. I didn't think he was at the races tonight. I think they knew where our best play comes from, and they went over and they marked him out of the game, but they made it really, really tough for him. Selena, once again, sort of failed to deceive in my eyes. He tried his best again, and then at the end, the shot from either Pickett or Selena, one of them should have taken, again, to go back to control of the game and say, this is my ball, put that in the back of the net, game over, and we're talking about, wasn't nearly a close game that we nearly didn't win. But,
All right, you've taken a few bricks out of that wall. Let's put one brick back in the wall. Who did well tonight? Who deserves to be recognised tonight, Mark?
Actually, collectively we weren't bad. We done everything but put the ball in the back of the net. It was another great clean sheet from the lads. They've done well again. That's like the nucleus of any good team, isn't it? Clean sheets, and they keep on cleaning it. But the fellas who let them down tonight were the lads up front. The whole lot of them. They just didn't. They were like, I'm not saying they were trying to walk the ball into the net, but sometimes that is the problem. They take too many touches and stuff like that. It's just having an ging from outside. Just make the goalkeeper work.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay right there, Mark. Bring it underwhelmed. Underwhelmed. You're in the dark.
All right, Gav.
Hey, it's Mike. It's Mike D. There he is.
How you doing?
In the dark, Mike. Mike, you're not
Hold
after that Christmas tree cost you 62 quid. Can you not afford electricity?
I've got no electricity anymore. I'm done.
Is that it? The Christmas tree put it over the edge.
Hold on. How you doing?
Well, frustrated. I think Robert Smith sums it up quite nicely. Mega frustrating evening.
Yeah. Bullshit, wasn't it?
Bullshit, says Mike. Talk to us, Mike. What's your view?
9 million a year. We haven't won 2 games. We've never won 3 games in a row this season, have we?
That's
no,
I don't think we have.
We are where we are, isn't it?
Burton is still winning with 0 shots on target, says Robert Smith. I'd love to see their expected goals. You've labelled yourself tonight, Mike, underwhelmed.
Yeah.
What particularly underwhelms you tonight?
Selena, Chaplin, lack of creativity. It's just the same story. It's always the same story. But I think we get to the final third and there's nothing. It's like we can't deal with 10 players. Like in Cheltenham had 10 players back. We didn't know how to break them down. It's the same all the time. That's how I feel about it.
Like a bit of pace on that left-hand side, don't we? Let's be honest. We like that.
Yeah,
threat.
I think he tried though, didn't he? I mean, give McKenna credit. He tried by bringing on KVY and it didn't quite work. But I just think, I don't know. I struggle with the. There's a real lack of creativity, I feel, at the moment, and there has been all season.
Yeah, a real lack of creativity. Before I bring in Rich? I'll keep you two here because I know he's on a timer, so to speak. But what's causing the lack of creativity for you? Joe Bradley getting the joke. Come on, Joe.
I think Morsey's been brilliant since McKenna's been in. I think everyone's been brilliant since. I'm not blaming this on McKenna. You know, I think Richard said like the first 8 games has killed us. I kind of disagree. I think I've just found the whole season a little bit like, apart from since McKenna's been in, amazing. But I've always found us really lacking when it gets the 18-yard box, and we don't know what to do. It's like we're trying to walk the ball into the net. It's like no one takes a shot, and I just feel like the forward line aren't good enough.
Absolutely. Neil Barley says, "Fuck's sake, it's the season start that's caused this. Our current form is best in years. Cheer up." Fair point. Although I'd be a bit surprised if we were cheery, because it's like your team didn't win.
I seem to remember after those first 8 games, I was told by many fans not to worry because this team will gel. And once that team gelled, we'd shoot right up the speed.
Well, we are, to be fair. It's just gelling under a different manager, that's all.
Telling me that these 8 games have now done us in.
I think the problem with the final ball, though, Kurt. Do you not feel there's a massive problem with the final ball with every single player? Like, no one can deliver a decent ball.
Me personally, I absolutely despise us when we get a corner because I know for a fact that it's going to hit the first man.
I mean, it was like Cheltenham play for it. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I think.
Did you notice tonight? Actually, the last kick of the game was a corner.
Yeah.
And I thought we'd have 11 people in the box. I just presumed we'd have 11 people in, and they just give it a welly.
Just because I know he's on a timer, let's bring him in to see what he's got to say to himself. Here he is. McKenna's at the wheel. Come on in, Crunch.
Good evening. How are we doing? Everyone looks fucking miserable. Cheer up, you miserable bastards.
We just draw 0-0 at home to Cheltenham, Crunch. Is there a hell of a lot to be cheerful about at?
Well, it's hardly fucking disastrous, Martin. Come on. It's one of those nights where, hang on, sorry, it's a bit dark. I have to watch where I'm going. Yeah. The longer the game went on, the less we looked likely to score. I'm pretty sure Selena's probably getting a hard time on it from you, Martin. He laid one right on Wes Burns' plate after about 5 minutes, and he should have absolutely buried it. You know, an early goal, it's a different game. But there's 2 teams in that football match, and you have to give credit to Cheltenham. Look, it's annoying. They've got 4 points off us this season, and everyone's moaning, saying boring Cheltenham towards the end. That's not their fault, Martin, that they're going down. No. That's because we didn't put them to bed early when we should have done, mate.
I thought
it's just one of them things. Yeah. It's just one of them things, you know. Early goal, it's a different game, but goals change games, and we didn't score tonight. Joe Piggott, by the way, absolutely woeful when he come on, wasn't he? Piggott and Bond, absolutely shit. The both of them.
I hear you, Crunch. I'll come back at you. Can you have one of those nights in what would have been many fans' home banker?
Yeah, but you know what this league's like. Sadly, you know what this league's like. There's some crazy results. Look, we should beat them. We're disappointed. We're disappointed. It's another clean sheet. I think that's what is that 8 clean sheets in 11 games. You have to take the positives, Martin. You know, from Kieran McKenna. Look, the playoffs. I did have a bet this morning. I'm asking Colin, can I get me £5 back? I did say, listen. I had a £5. But I did say a few weeks ago, it's going to be a hard task to get in the playoffs. It is the start, might be. 2 points. Was it from the first 6 games?
It's not, though, Crunch. We've had so many other games to catch up. Like, I'm sorry. I disagree.
Yeah, but you've been playing catch-up from the first 6 games because you didn't win a game and you let 2 goals in every single one of them games, Mike. You can't have that start. You cannot have that start and expect to be successful.
I don't know. I disagree, Crunch. I think Wolfenden wasn't in the side then. I disagree. Like, I think Cook massively underestimated the task that he did. I think everyone knows this anyway. I disagree. I think we've had so many chances to actually make this back, and I think I don't know. Burton Albion, I don't know. It's just been a shit season, Crunch. Sorry.
I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed the season, the away games. You know, we're travelling in numbers. There's nothing to be negative about. There's nothing to be negative about, Mike.
But a lot of fans after those 6-8 games at the start, they said, "Don't worry, because we'll make all this back." So we then can't have it now at 30 odd games in, and then say, "Well, it is the 8 games that killed us." We can't have it both ways.
A lot of people. That's football, though, Curtis. People's minds change. People's opinions change.
Exactly. So tonight, whilst we can take the positives, it doesn't mean you have to forget the negatives, because there was negatives. That second half was piss poor. It was piss poor. We took our foot off the pedal.
When was the last time we got to the 18-yard box and carved someone open? Can you remember? Gillingham.
But when you've got a red wall, you cannot go through the middle of them. You have to go round the sides, and you have to deliver quality into the box.
Was the same.
Which we didn't for the whole game.
No.
You need to score goals. You need to score goals, and we didn't score them. No, you're talking about McKenna. McKenna's been grand since he came. He's been a revelation. It's been all great. But tonight, he was left. He couldn't figure out Cheltenham, and that's probably his first big test that he failed. I know I'm not shooting the manager in any way, shape, or form there. I'm just saying he couldn't find a way to beat Cheltenham, and that's the truth.
The thing is, I really can see both
football.
sides. Go on, Rich.
That's football, and no one's got a divine right to beat anybody, Mike.
I agree.
And Mark. And this is why we're in this league, and this is why our fan base are up and down like a fucking yo-yo. We beat a team, we're going to make the playoffs. We lose, we're the fucking worst thing in the world.
Every team.
You were at that game tonight. You can't say that they fucking tried to score a goal. You can't say that. You watched it like we did. You cannot sit there and say that we tried to score a goal tonight.
Of course we fucking did. What game are you fucking watching?
Easy.
What game are you watching? You're
talking
utter fucking bollocks that we didn't try and score a goal. What game are you fucking watching, Mark? No, he's talking absolute bollocks. All of you lot sitting at home in the fucking warm, and people like me and Colin. Now listen to me. We go up and down the fucking country, and you fucking knobs sit on here and you fucking moan week after fucking week. Get in your fucking cars, get to the fucking games, support the fucking team. See you later. Fuck off.
I'll bring the tickets.
Easy.
We didn't score. We didn't score.
That I think he's a bit upset. He's lost his $5. I think he's taking it a little bit too personally that he's put a $5 on us getting promoted, and it's gone a little bit Pete Tom.
Not anyone being heated, but at the end of the day, listen. At the end of the day, we came here to talk about the Cheltenham game, and that was the fact that we didn't score and we didn't win when most people thought we'd win, and that's it. At the end of the day, that's the real truth. No.
Well, yeah. I mean, they obviously did try to score, though, Mark. You know, every team tries to score. It was lacking that piece of quality at the end. That's the difference.
That's what I meant to say.
That's the difference. It lacks that quality at the end of, and that's what we've been missing most of the season, which I think is what Mike D was trying to allude to.
Did we work their goalkeeper though? Tonight, I didn't think we did enough.
I don't think we did. As I was trying to say before Crunch got on his little horse, I can really see why some fans, the ones in front of me here, the ones in the chat, are really quite frustrated this evening because it's been built up to this big climax. But pre-game, everyone's really on a crest of a wave. This is the moment we can beat Cheltenham at home. If results go our way, we could be closer to the playoffs. It's a really good opportunity here to take 6 points from 6, 2 away games coming up. And then, of course, we don't go and do it. Sunderland then go and lose, as they are doing or have done, which leaves you 3 points. And it makes it even worse. It compounds that frustration and that disappointment into what you're seeing here. What you're seeing here is disappointment at one result. I think if we all took a step back and said, how have we done for the last 3 months? I think everyone would give us an 8 or 9 out of 10. But it doesn't mean you can't be disappointed tonight. It doesn't mean you can't be upset you didn't beat Cheltenham, who, all due respect, should be a home win.
Well, this is what Crunch just said. This is what he said. He said this is football. People can change their minds. Things happen. We have our own opinions. Yeah. And listen. As it stands, what is it? Still 3 points? I'm sure it is.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Yes, as I said to him, yes, you can take the positives from it that we are now 3 points ahead. Doesn't mean you forget the negatives. And as for that bollocks of,
it's not really a negative. It's a disappointment. It's a
It's just another
frustration.
game down, isn't it? Guys? Basically, another game gone. That's it.
That's the issue.
I think we're running out of games, aren't we?
as for
Yeah,
that
we're
bollocks,
going to run out of games. It's
That's
huge
not good.
progress under McKenna, 100%, huge progress. But tonight, which we are talking about, and Cruncher Kelly didn't hear us talking about it. You know,
I'll bring in the fisherman as he was there. I'll bring in the fisherman, Mike. How are you? Can you
I'm
hear
good,
me?
mate. Yeah, yourself?
Very well, thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
very well. I'm all right. Talk to us. How did you see it in those posh seats of yours?
Well,
Hello, mate.
look. It was a great. It was a great first half. I thought the first half we looked really good, and we did everything but score.
Absolutely.
Second half,
Yeah.
we looked shocking and did everything but try and not score. Poor crosses in the box. Thompson was getting on my nerves. Not enough. Kept coming inside when we needed to go down the outside. Not enough crosses, decent crosses in the box. Thought Morsey was shocking second half. Kept giving the ball away. Look, the end of the day is we're still 3 points off the playoffs. I know that a couple of teams have got games in hands and that. It is a big ask now. We've got another, we can't be. Look, we cannot be drawing games at home against teams like Cheltenham. Second half, they parked the bus.
Don't say that, man.
and
Don't say that.
That was the worst team I've seen at Portman Road this season.
really.
Do you know what? This is the only. I've done this show for what? Fuck knows, 18 months. I can't get a handle on this show. Literally, I think we're going to go one way.
I thought they worked us out second half, Mike. I thought they were just like sit deep, let the two number 10s just work their way into nowhere, cul-de-sacs. It was like I thought they worked us out.
Oh, he's frozen.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's frozen. Yeah. Honestly, I'll try and bring him back if he does come back. Honestly, I can't. This show keeps zigzagging over the opinions of where everyone feels they are. I can't get a handle on what everyone's feeling. Sega Zombie, I can't see Town losing another game this season. The importance is goals and winning games at home. Lee, first half we were great, second half disappointed, but we are 1 point closer. Lewis, Cheltenham disciplined and could have won it at the end. Absolutely, they could have done. We have and will play worse teams this season. Right,
Can I also say something that's while we're there? I do think sometimes that people, even including myself, very much so myself from Ireland, I do think I'm a fraud. Sometimes I sit and watch the games, and I'm 100% aware that when you go to the games, you see a completely different game. I totally understand that, But when you're watching it,
doesn't mean you're right, though. Doesn't mean you're right. Doesn't mean you're wrong. Doesn't mean you're right and he's wrong.
No,
but you can't be at fault for a fucking great big ocean separating. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying that.
That
ain't your fault. You're still entitled to your opinion, so keep hold of that.
I take umbrage with that. I take umbrage with that, mainly because, yes, one person at home gets to sit in the warmth, and yes, there will be someone sat in the stands who's getting freezing the tits off and absolutely everything. But yes, we all watch the same fucking game. I hate to break it to you all. We all watch the same game, but we all have different opinions. And some of us might have higher standards than other people say. That is what creates different opinions. This bollocks about, oh, well, we travel up and down the country to see them. Fuck me. I may as well cancel my next 2 tickets then. If I'm not there tonight, does that not make me a proper fan? When I was there at the start of the season, watching us draw 2-2 to Morecambe, does that not make me a proper fan? I don't get to, not many people can travel down to Ipswich. A lot of Ipswich fans don't even travel. They don't live in Ipswich. I know about the 7 who live in my area. So this bollocks of you have to travel up and down and be at the games to have an opinion and voice an opinion. It's bollocks, utter bollocks. And that'd be funny. Rich he can say all these fucking F-bombs and everything like that. And he can say everything.
It's just passion, isn't it? It's just passion. It's frustration.
No, but there's no problem with passion and people going, not at all.
There's a difference between passion and then insulting people just because you think you have the fucking higher ground because you went to the game tonight. You don't have the higher ground because you went to the game tonight. Everyone's allowed their opinion. Yes, we're allowed.
For Rich that you went to the game tonight.
Yeah, so do I actually. Can we just watch our language though? Because we have got
young baby.
listening in from Sydney. So can we all watch our language, please?
Yeah,
Don't
I just think
the young lad's first word being "fuck's sake."
Good morning from Sydney.
I just think it's wrong to call out fans when, let's face it, Mark can't be there for a massive ocean. We all watch the same game, so therefore we're all allowed an opinion.
Absolutely.
Not the same one, but as has been repeated tonight, apparently we are all allowed to have different opinions. So just don't get your knickers in a twist, and if you need to, go wrap your bedsheet on your bed and have a kip.
The thing is, what you've got to keep hold of is Saturday was a prime example. I had 2 videos, one from Ben, one from Matt. One of them said Pickett played well. One of them said Pickett didn't play well. 2 people in the same stadium watching the same game of football, looking at it at completely different ways. And that's what the beauty of football is tonight. Tonight, I've got 4 people on this screen who are maybe here. There'll be 4 at home in the chat that are here. And there'll be some in the middle. That's the beauty of football. And that's the beauty of this platform. It gives everybody the chance to have their say, whether you go or whether you don't. And I disagree with Richard when he says about travelling home and away. That's down to him. If he wants to do it, good luck to him. But the last time I went away from home, I saw my team capitulate, and then I got ambushed by 6 guys. So I'm kind of stepping away from away days. You know what I mean? Like Cambridge, the football was shit, and afterwards was shit. So
I went to Charlton. That was even worse.
There you go. That
I'll
said,
be over for the Cambridge game now in a few weeks, actually.
That said, I'll see you all at the playoff final. Callie says, everyone's starting to their opinion, but to fair, the game's different in person. You see much more, the cameras don't pick up. But if you are there or not, you're still entitled to your opinion. Anyone here, the Norwich fan, friends? BBC Suffolk. What did he get lost? Poor bloke. From someone who was there, Pickett was woeful when he came on. Yeah, I think we can all agree on that one, Craig. That don't matter if you're there or not there or just listening. He wasn't great tonight, sadly, was he?
That seems to be just one of the strongest opinions, regardless of really who's
the whole strikers, though.
Talking.
Well, chicken and egg, Mike. Chicken and egg. Is it the strikers or at the service? At the service of the strikers. You know, some will say Selena, rightfully so, lays it on a plate. They don't finish. Some will say people don't supply enough chances for what is League One. But Rabbit Man, we have our great community. Love the show. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to have to try and find this budgie on Radio Suffolk. That's going to be a bit... What's he saying? Chat, let us know what he's saying as we run through the 1 to 11s. Neil, are you there? All I can see is your ceiling. It's a rather lovely ceiling, Neil, but I mean, I'd rather see you. He's not there. Right. Walton, out of 10. Kirk, far away. What are we doing?
Didn't really have much to do, so...
No, he didn't. 6. Yeah, I agree with that. Kept his composure well, or concentration, rather. Burns, Steve.
5. Didn't really do much. That sitter, that would have been it. That should have been
a fair point. I mean, yeah. Donatian, Mark.
6. Didn't do too much wrong. He didn't do too much right. Just done good, solid performance. 6 though. 7 because he kept the clean sheet. I'd give him 7.
7. All right. Wolf, Mr. D.
Best player on the park.
Yeah. Country mile.
Yeah, probably. I mean, 8 maybe. I think the rest of them were 6s. 8.
Yeah, Luke Wolfenden was definitely the best player on the pitch tonight, wasn't
he? He got forward, didn't he? I mean, he was always looking like. I thought he was brilliant tonight.
He's just reading the game so much better, isn't he?
Yeah.
Sunderland just equalised.
He looks fit as well. Did you see when he out sprinted that bloke and just let the ball go? I thought he was brilliant tonight. It was really good.
Edmondson, Kurt.
I actually think he was the poorer out of the 2. So if Wolf is getting an 8, I'd probably give him a 6.
Okay. Thompson, Steve, went off towards the end.
6.
6. Yeah. Love it. Yeah. Don't love the performance, but I thought he did all right in the first half, though, to be fair, Stevie.
First half was all right. Second half was a bit.
Were you surprised he took off KVY or took off Thompson and brought on KVY?
No, I think trying something different, a bit of pace down the left-hand side, but that didn't work, unfortunately.
No, okay. Sam Morsey, Mark.
6.5, maybe 6.5. So he wasn't into ticketing.
I'm not doing halves. This half box has crept in. 6. It's crept in recently. I let it slide. I'm putting my foot down tonight. No half.
6.
6. Okay. Yeah, I like that. He wasn't as great as he. I mean, he missed Lee Evans, didn't he, Mark?
Yeah.
I never thought.
If you ask me, is Lee Evans better than Carroll? Yes, of course he is.
Oh, fuck me, I'm better than Carroll. Mike, you've got actually Tom Carroll.
Hospital pass. I think like just a bit shit, wasn't he? Sideways. I thought he had a few good touches in the first half, and then after that, he kept losing the ball, didn't he? He kept passing it to no one.
Yeah, he was seeing ghosts, wasn't he?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you rate someone? I mean, we didn't concede.
I gave him a 3.
But 3?
I gave him a 3.
That's
just putting the shirt on the right way.
I mean, 4.
It wasn't a 3.
4, maybe. I mean, 5. I don't know.
I mean, we're splitting hairs here between a 3 and a 4. What's the real? What really qualifies you a bit better to be a 3 to a 4? Like we're hardly going from a 3 to a 6 here, Mike, are we?
Made a few forward passes in the first half.
It's a fucking job.
3's are harsh.
All right. What would you give him?
4.
Oh fuck! Well, right. Sorry, my mistake. My mistake. I thought we were going to go for a respectable. Chaplin.
Not being like,
Go on.
Kill.
Yeah, no, maybe 3 was a bit harsh. Parry's gone for a 6. Roy Clark's gone for a 5. So maybe 3 was a bit emotional.
He had a good first half, but I think they all did.
The
second half was shite. So
yeah. Selena, Kurt, your mate.
He did try in the first half. He did put a few chances on a few people's plates. So I'm gonna give him a 6. I just think the second half let him down.
I gave him a 5. 6, fair play. Steve, you got Chaplin. He was playing well at half time for you. So how do you see it now?
About 6.
6.
Yeah, not too much to say really.
No. Best of Selena is really like Marmite at the moment. Some say 6, some say 8, some say it's really quite polarizing. Jackson for you. Look how that's worked out, Mark. Look.
Listen, one or two good games. Listen. You know what? I always like Jackson, right? Honestly, tonight again, he wasn't in the box. He was outside the box. That's not good enough for me. He needs to know where the goal is. And again, he played too far away from the goal for me again tonight, which he's been doing for the last 2 or 3 years. Fantastic there the other day, 100% brilliant, absolutely fantastic. But now he's played the last 3 games. Tonight was probably his worst one.
Okay. So what was it? 5?
So I'll throw him a 6.
6. Pigott, Mike.
2.
Ooh, fucking hang on. You're upset about Carroll getting a 3, but Pigott's getting a 2.
Pigott looked like he'd never played football ever.
Yeah, at least got the shirt and the boots on.
Yeah, well, so that's why he's got 2.
KVY, Kurt.
5.
Rob Smith, Cine is a luxury, but not really delivering. Fair point. Bon, Steve.
5.
5.
That's
all right.
Kind, Steve.
It is. And I've written as a final note, it was all basically bollocks. And it was. But we're back tomorrow night with a more measured approach, I'm sure, after we've stepped on it, looked at the league table that now says 4 points because Sunderland did rescue a point right at the death. Who were they playing? They were playing Burton. They rescued it right at the death. They had that huge stoppage, didn't they, for the emergency. Hope that the supporter is doing well. Our thoughts with him and his family, or the supporter and his family. But yeah, until tomorrow. Disappointment. Does it say something, lads, when your man of the match was your centre half?
No, I don't think so. I think we've been really solid. I think it's nothing to do. I think Wolfenden's been amazing. I think it's been absolutely phenomenal since McKenna's been in. I just feel like we are pity patty around the box, and I think whether he changes it up, whether he tries to put Jackson in, whether he tries to put Pigott in, it's just the same. I just don't see anything, especially at Portman Road. I think Lee Anderson said that, didn't he? Like months ago, it's going to be a problem at home because people, they're going to put 10 players behind the ball. How are we going to deal with it? And I just think because we've got so many points to make up, it's like it's got it today. Especially felt really desperate. Second half, it was like shit. It's not going to happen. And I felt like the players actually felt like that it got to them today a little bit.
Yeah,
like how to break them down. I don't think they knew how to do it.
Well,
and I'm
there
not
we
blaming
go.
McKenna. I just feel
No,
like
we can't do
there's-
because McKenna has been
there's a lack of
revelation.
I just feel there's a lack of penetration all season. There's been a lack of penetration. I think there's not been a dominant like where we've I'm not expecting a City, Liverpool. Let's dominate them. Let's bombard their box. But I thought today definitely proved that we've really struggled to break. Admittedly, 10 players behind the ball. It's really hard. I'm not saying that we were shit. I'm just saying it's just that
You're frustrated, and rightfully
yeah,
so.
a little bit, yeah.
That's
Kelly
what I was
says-
sort of meaning. That's what I meant when I was saying we didn't try. Did we come to a sort of a roadblock and we can't seem to get past it? That's what I mean. We didn't try. Of course, we tried to bloody win, but sometimes
I
you don't
feel
get
like we've had that
final
all
pass,
season, though, Mark. And I feel like under Cook, we definitely would have conceded, and we may have lost the game. I mean, that's massively different. But I felt that all season.
We did create chances, though, lads. Like, you're talking as if it was a Drinnan and Hawkins-esque performance.
Right.
We had Burns who should have bet.
Well, maybe in the first half, yeah.
In the first half, it was everything but the finish. Wes Burns, for example, we did create an opportunity, like Pigott taking off Selina's boot.
What did the keeper do?
Well, he made a cup of tea
Nothing.
and probably had a teddy bear's picnic. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like you say we created chances. I don't remember the keeper actually. All right, he made one save against a diving header against the smallest player on the park. But I don't actually remember the keeper being bombarded by.
I'm trying to be balanced. Callie says, bring back Lambert. No problem, Callie.
I'm glass half empty, but yeah.
Callie said, bring back Lambert. So there he is. I've brought him back to end the show. Right, we're back tomorrow at 8:30. I'm going to put a post on our community page on YouTube. If you want something discussed on tomorrow's show, drop a reply. You don't have to come on if you don't want to. You don't have to appear. You can if you absolutely want to. You're more than welcome to come on and have your say in your own words. But if we're not talking about something and we should be, drop it in there. We want to discuss the things that really matter to you as the town fans. Is Crunch ready for tomorrow? I don't know, Trevor, to be fair.
He needs to get some sleep, doesn't he? He's very tired tonight.
He was. Right. Mike, Mark, love you both. Look after yourselves. Keep those opinions. That's all that matters. Stephen, you have been a revelation as always, Mr. Thompson. And Curtis stepping in at the last minute. I'm going to leave you all tonight with Lewis Robinson's Night All. Keep the faith. I'll see you tomorrow with, hang on. I'm with Cruncher tomorrow night. That'd be fucking interesting, wouldn't it? Because didn't know I was sat in the warmth tonight. Christ. Yeah, Cruncher with me tomorrow. And who else is with me tomorrow? Here we go. What's the date tomorrow? 23rd. TJ and Callie. What a blockbuster lineup. We'll see you tomorrow.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now.